What's up, YouTube? My name's Zane. I'm back. Sorry for going MIA and not posting anything for a couple months. I got really burnt out on Master Duel, but today I'm here with a deck profile. I just got third at the Knoxville, Tennessee regional with Adventure Spright, or Sprite. Sorry. This is the first weekend the deck is TCG legal. And I think this is probably like one of the better versions to play. I like it a lot better than the pure one. But yeah, let's go ahead and hop into it. All right. So like I said, I played Adventure Spright. I got third place. So I got the deck box and the playmat. And in my entry pack, I got extremely lucky and I got the Starlight, which is kind of cool because that's the monster that is also on the playmat, the new one that just came out. So yeah, but anyways, let's get into the deck. So I played 46 cards, and you'll see, I'll explain more why I played more than 40 as I get into the deck. But for the monsters, I played 3 Spright Blue. Sorry, I keep saying Sprite Blue. This is the best one, add a monster. 3 Sprite Jet. I think every deck is going to play those 6. This one adds a Speller Trap. Those are the best ones. And then I played 1 red and 1 carrot. I didn't feel like you needed more of these. 2 red could like maybe be okay. Like definitely 1 carrot, but I don't think you need the second one in this version. In the pure build, I'd probably play 2 of the red. Yeah, so then for more level 2s, I played 3 Swap Frog and 1 Ronin Toadin. I didn't play the dupe frog because I wasn't playing like Ibly or anything in the side. And I didn't feel like it was worth adding an extra like level 2 vanilla to your deck to make it where your elf or your IP couldn't be attacked over. Because usually when you make that board, like you're able to win the game anyways. Like the dupe doesn't really do a ton for it. So that's why I didn't play the dupe. Honestly, the dupe like came up more being like an extra frog to send to banish with Ronin than anything, like more than the like can't attack effect. I only summoned off of Toad 1 time throughout 8 rounds. But yeah, so that's all the level 2s and splites. I played 3 Spright Starter and 1 Spright Smashers. Starters, obvious, it's E-Telly. It's a starter and extender. It's a crazy card. Smashers, I decided to main deck because I realized like this card is like insane in the mirror because the mirror can just Zeus you. Like they can go like summon a level 2, special a guy and not use the effect, and then go into a rank 2 attack, and then go down or Zeus, and they can like Zeus, and usually you only have like a Toad negate unless you end on like Toad and red. But if you end on Toad and red, they can attack over the red, which is where dupe sometimes comes up in that scenario. But they can essentially they can just Zeus you twice, and you don't have a way to stop it. But Smashers lets you just like Smasher the Xyz before they make the Zeus. So this card's like nice, and also really good against tier limit. And like say they go like for example, like some people playing like summon limit or just like a lot of floodgates, you can go like they go like flip flood, and you can chain starter to summon jet from your deck and then search the Smasher. That way you have like an out to the floodgate. And also there's like interactions where like if your red gets impermed, like say they go like have like imperm Nibiru, and you like combo and have a red to protect or something for your play from Nibiru, and you go like red negate Nib, and they chain imperm. You can chain Smasher, banish the red, and then banish their imperm, so it dodges the imperm and Nib doesn't resolve. So it's a really good card. I think it's worth maining for sure. And then for the adventure package, these cards are crazy in this deck. I really think a lot of people will start playing these cards. I've been testing the deck for like a month now with my friend. His name's Drew. We've been testing it a ton. He also played at the regional. He ended up getting 22nd. He lost the last round, or else he would have also got top 8. But I played the 3 Enchantress, 1 Griffin Rider, 3 Rite, Faithful, Dracoback, and Foolish as another Enchantress, basically. So what these cards do is first of all, if you just open like a normal like 2 level 2 combo, whatever it may be, just any 2 level 2s, you can like, and plus like a Rite or Enchantress, you can set up Griffin before you combo to protect from any hand traps. But also, like, say you just open like Rite or Enchantress plus like any level 2, but specifically Jet or Blue, that's full combo. And I'll go into that at the end of the deck profile. But like this, like the Rite cards actually up the consistency of the deck, because like the token plus one of these makes Elf, and then you can like full combo from there. So I think the cards are really good in the deck. It like helps you go second, helps you like you know, Draco back being able to bounce cards is like crazy good. Like this generates so much advantage, because a lot of times you'll go like you'll get into like grind games, I guess, with this deck, especially in the mirror. I played 5 mirrors at the regional, and these cards were like what let me win the mirror. Like it just, these cards are insane in the mirror. Because this card, like the deck kind of struggles to break boards other than Zeus, and this just gives you another way to like out a free card, like out a Nib token or out like their Xyz or their Link or whatever. Is just nice. So I really like these cards. Big fan. Then I played 3 Prosperity. This card's crazy. It just gets you any card in your deck. You know, the extra deck, a lot of times like I'll banish 3 with this if like I can already like play the game. But if I can't play the game, I'll always banish 6. Or if I like have like a subpar hand, like I'll banish 6. Like, and it's not a big deal. You can, like when you're going first, you can banish most of your stuff in the extra deck that's like going second stuff, like Zeus and Downard and stuff, and be fine. I played 1 Call by the Grave. This card's nice. It's like obviously really good going first. Like that's the main reason to play it. But I would play it. I wouldn't play it if it wasn't also good going second against like Tier Limit and Splight. Like against Splight, like if they end on like Elf Toad, which is like the most generic board that Splight ends on. Usually it's like Elf Toad and an IP or Elf Toad and a red or something. But you can called by, like they go like Toad negate. And you can chain, if you don't have a monster on board, like say you activate a spell and they Toad negate, you can chain called by on the Toad, negate the Toad, and then they also can't bring it back with Elf because you don't have a monster for them to chain it. But also just like hitting the target with the Elf is like nice too. Then I guess Tier Limits, obviously, if they like mill a thing to fuse with on your turn, like this is crazy. And then the rest of the cards are just hand traps. I played 16 hand traps. I played 3 Nib. A lot of people don't like this card because Gigantic locks you out of Nib, but Nib plus literally like any hand trap in the deck stops the Splight combo, because they'll go like, usually they'll set up, if they set up like red and then like go into Gigantic, like red level 2 and Gigantic, they go like, say they go activate Gigantic effect, and you can chain Ash, you can chain Valor, you can chain like obviously Imperm. This situation's different. If you have Imperm, like it's the best one. You can chain Ogre. And if they chain red to negate, then you just chain Nib, and the Gigantic won't resolve because it doesn't detach for cost. It detaches as part of the effect, and it won't be able to detach because it's not on the board. So I think Nib's like insane. Like it's obviously good against all the old format stuff. And against Tier Limit, it's not so great. But in the mirror, I think this card's like one of the best hand traps you can play, because you play so many other hand traps in combination with it. But also there's like a lot of random combos where they will have to like Elf first and before they Gigantic, and you can just Nib on those. And that's like a blowout usually. So I like this card a lot. I think it's very strong. I played 3 Ash. This one's just like generically probably the best hand trap against just everything. You can hit starter with it, which is like really big. Like that's like can sometimes like be their only way to play is with starter. So this card's nice. I mean, you also can hit Gigantic, obviously. Then I played Valor and Imperm. Imperm's really insane, like really, really good against like Tier Limit. Like this can be an out to like the Winda, or just like hitting their kit, the fusion, the level 5 fusion kit Kalos or something like that, I think it's called. That's nice. Valor's like definitely worse than Imperm, but it's still like good enough to play. It's solid. Like in the mirror, you can hit the Gigantic. You know, like they can set up red or whatever. Like if it's your only hand trap, like it sucks. Like all the low impact ones like definitely suck by themselves, but when you draw 2 of them, it's usually really good. That's why I played 16. Yeah, 3 Imperm. Like I said, this card's crazy. And then I played 2 Ogre and 2 Bell. So I'm not playing DD Crow. I think Crow is really pretty good right now. Like it's good against Tier and Splight. This is the first weekend, the first regional, so I didn't want to main deck Crow because I wasn't sure how much like of the new cards I was actually gonna play against. But I ended up playing against 5 Splight, so like it would have been nice. But I think Bell is probably just better than Crow in most scenarios, like other than specifically Ronin Totem, because Bell can stop all the same stuff. Like it can stop the elf effect. It can stop like the tier limit effects to fuse. But this card can also stop like your opponent's DD Crow, your opponent's Called by the Grave, your opponent's Gamma. Gamma being a pretty big one. Sometimes Gamma can like be detrimental to this. They can still use it again, but at least you keep your level 2 on board so you can like extend further. But yeah, so for the extra deck, I've been back and forth on a few cards. I'll go into it, but what I played was 1 All Mirage. This is just, if you pretty much only make this if you only open swap, because you can turn swap into a full combo, but like normal swaps and Ronin, make All Mirage, summon back the Ronin by banishing the swap, and then make Elf with All Mirage and Ronin, and then Elf, bring back Ronin, overlay Elf and Ronin for Gigantic, and then you can like get to your engine that way. So that's why you play this card, but most of the time this gets banished off Prosperity, like if you already have anything to play with, like if your hand isn't specifically just swap plus like 4 hand traps, which happened to me one game. I played 2 Elf. Before the regional, I was playing 3. I decided to cut it for a different card in the extra deck, and the third one didn't come up at all for me, but it does come up sometimes. But at the entire regional, it didn't come up once, so it was fine. I played IP. This is like your turn 1, you end on IP, and I'll show what you go into in a second. I played Dark. This card is crazy in the mirror. Like I played 5 mirrors, like I said, so this card got a lot of value, but it's also good against Tier, and I'll explain. But in the mirror, like you just take their blue or their jet, and it's basically like another elf in the mirror. Like, and that's kind of another reason why it probably didn't come up as much, because you can go like Dark, summon back blue or jet, and then start playing the game instead of having to go elf, summon back your guy. It's nice. I think this card's crazy. You can also Dark, bring back their IP, and then make access code, which is huge. Like before you Gigantic or before you starter. That's why I played this card, because you just like you make this like either like I said, the Dark interaction, like taking an IP or something. It comes up like randomly in different situations, but a lot of times on your turn 3, like you'll go turn 1, build a board. They'll play and like maybe break some of your board or whatever, and you have some just like monsters left, and then you can like make access code with if your elf sticks, because you can't link with the elf on the turn you summon it, but if it sticks, you can like bring back a guy and then just go access code, force whatever, and then end up killing them. So I think it's worth playing that. Then for the IP, I played Underworld Goddess. I made this 0 times. I actually resolved IP's effect 0 times throughout the tournament. I only made it probably like 3 times. Probably like maybe 3, maybe 4 times, but I never used the effect. Either they just like scooped when I had my end board, or like I think I ended up tributing the IP with a red in one game because it was like the right play. He like used a Drytron in hand, and I tributed the IP so it would destroy it and put it in grave, and it ended up breaking his hand. But yeah, so I played this because I felt like it was better than Avermax, because obviously it's a regional, so you don't know what you're gonna play against. Like it can out like towers, like monsters, like the Arrival guy, the Link 6 or whatever. It can out just whatever. It's like a pretty decent interruption, and its effects like solid. But I didn't play Avermax because this card, like everybody's playing Sky Cavalry, and I don't know if people realize it or not, but this card just outs the IP Avermax. Like you just attack, use the effect, bounce it. They don't even get to shuffle a card. Like it's like this is just a rank 2 way, and then you can make a Zeus main phase 2. Like it's crazy. So that's why I think the Avermax sucks. I played for the Xyz, I played 2 Gigantic. You only need 2. Third one like never comes up. Sometimes even banish one off of Prosperity depending on the situation, but you pretty much never need 3. Play 1 Toad. You like never get into a situation where you need a second one. You can also put it back with itself if you need to. but it's not. I don't know. It never comes up. Like once you make the first one, you're pretty much winning. Cat Shark. This card's nice because it makes your gigantic go to 64, which is huge. Like that gets over like actually everything. And it just like can OTK. Like this plus the gigantic is 69. So like any other bodies game. I played Ona Bamaru Soul Sweeper. Essentially what this does is you can banish your opponent's monster until they're in phase. So it's nice for like a nib token. It just gets rid of the nib token. Or just like any like problematic monster. If you're like trying to go for game, you can just like get it out of the way. Like this card comes up sometimes. I don't think I made it at all at the regional, but I made it a ton in testing. So it's solid. I think it's worth playing. And then for the last 3 in the extra deck, it's just Sky Cavalry, Downer, and Zeus. Zeus is crazy. You make this like every time you go second in the mirror, you'll make a Zeus because the mirror doesn't have a good way to out the Xyz other than Smashers, and like they don't always get to Smashers turn 1. So this card's like insane. Like 4 material Zeus is crazy in the mirror because you, like I was saying earlier, you just like attack with this and then make this and then make this and do this, force the toad, and then chain it again. So it's like it's nice, very strong. That's the extra deck. I was between the third elf, like I said, the Avermax, until I realized like this just outs it. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I was playing Unicorn at one point for IP, but I think the Underworld Goddess is just better than that. Then for the side deck, this is like kind of interesting. It's a lot different than most. Played 3 Dark Ruler. This is probably the best card in the mirror most of the time. It's like the one you're the most scared of because like any singular hand trap like kind of really sucks in the mirror most of the time. Like you need multiples, and sometimes multiples isn't even enough. But this card like can just out the whole board, which is huge. Keep them from getting follow up with their elf and everything. It's nice. I played 2 Lightning Storm, 1 Reboot. These are for trap decks. This also goes in against like Sword Soul, for example. But this is also like I put this in against Tier Laments. Like this is nice because it doesn't destroy their trap. Like their trap's like one of the main things they like on their end board that they end on that you're like worried about. Like flipping your like when they book a moon, you're level 2. Like it's like kind of hard to keep going sometimes if you don't have the right cards. So like this could just be nice, just to set it and then like kill them. Then I play 3 Evenly. This card goes in against a lot of decks, like trap decks. I also would put this in against Tier Lament because like some of the hand traps like Nib, Ogre, like mainly Nib and Ogre like suck against Tier Laments, and this is just another card you can put in against them going second. That's like very solid. Then I also played 2 Trap Trick, 2 Sanctum, and Scythe. This is just 4 going first cards. Like this can also be Imperm, is why I played that over the third one of these. And also, like, if you're playing against like Trap Eldritch, like you can like Trap Trick for evenly matched, which is better than a lot of the hand traps in your deck against that. So it's not ideal, but it's like not bad. And then yeah, the Scythe. And then the last card in extra deck, the 15th card, I played Red Resonator. The name's all misprinted on it. It's kind of cool. My buddy gave me that. But essentially, if like I didn't know at the regional, I was thinking that people wouldn't know what all the Spright cards did because they just came out, and like maybe be reading my cards a lot and might go into time. So like you can just summon this off Gigantic to gain life points if you're in that scenario, but it didn't happen at all. I finished every single match with at least 10 minutes left on the clock because I 2-0'd 6 of my opponents out of the 8 rounds, and there was not the games just didn't last very long, so this didn't come up at all. But it's there. It's just like it's how the time rules are. You kind of have to play a card like this because like if you're going first in game 3 and you're like low, like there's not much time left, like you can't activate Starter, which is like one of your best cards in the deck because you take life point damage. But if you play this, like you can play Starter, take life, and then summon this, and then gain the life back so you don't just lose. So I think it was worth playing, but it never came up. So like you could probably just cut that because if you like know the deck pretty well, like the matches will probably go pretty fast. But yeah, that's the whole deck. I had a lot of fun at the regional. I want to give a shout out to Cam from Hawks Nest Gaming. It's a great local, by the way. He lent me the Lightning Storms and the Underworld Goddess to use for the tournament. I really appreciate that. I go there. They have a tournament every Friday I go to, and it's a lot of fun. Everybody there is really nice and everything. And shout out to my friend Drew. We worked on the deck together. We tested for like the past 3 weeks to a month, and came up with this, and I was really happy with it. I think it performed very well. My only loss was to the mirror. He played really well, so I'm not upset, but he ended up using I opened swap plus 4 hand traps, and he ended up having cherries to hit my elf, so I just had to pass on All Mirage, Ronin Totem, and I didn't draw into Engine Piece after that. And then he also played cross out, so his deck was really built for the mirror, with cross out and cherries, which is fair enough. But he played really well, so I'm not downplaying him at all. His deck was just built to beat the mirror, and mine wasn't as built to beat the mirror. But yeah, I had fun. I played. I can go over my matchups real quick. I played round 1. I played against Phantom Knight. I won 2-0, and then round 2 was Sprite 2-0. Round 3 was Mathmech 1-2-0. Round 4 was Sprite 2-0. Round 5 was Drytron. I won 2-1. Round 6 was Sprite Adventure. It was just a complete mirror match, I guess, and I won that 2-0. Nib was really good in that matchup. And round 7, I played against Spright. That's the guy that ended up beating me. I lost that 1-2. And then round 8, I played against Spright again, and I won 2-0. So a lot of Spright. I played 5. I ended up playing no tier limits throughout the tournament, which I felt like the deck was pretty well prepared for that deck, but that deck's scary to go against because they can just mill the nuts, and you just can't do anything about it. Sometimes it's really powerful, but it sucks when it doesn't mill well. So I don't know. It's a weird matchup right now. Happy I pulled this. This is kind of sick at pulling a Starlight entry packs, but real quick, I'll go over the Rite plus blue or jet combo, just to show you guys. So you go, you'll go Rite, get your token. Sorry, a little disorganized. Get your token, and then you get the Faithful. And then you'll normal summon your blue to trigger the Faithful to get Draco back. Right here, and then you'll activate Faithful to add a monster, and here you'll add Water Enchantress instead of Griffin, and you'll pitch the Draco back equip. That's another reason why this deck's good. You don't care about pitching this for Mystic Mine because you have Smashers in your deck as well. And you have 2 options here. You can either special and link. I kind of like this play here. I feel like this is ends on more. You go link the token and blue into Elf. Elf then brings back blue. Blue grabs Jet. You summon Jet. Jet grabs Starter. Go ahead and activate Starter. You summon Red. Play around whatever hand trap that they haven't used at this point. This is a really weak to hand trap combo. But it's okay because you get more follow up this way too. Even if they do have a hand trap. But then so you keep this in hand. This is key. You'll overlay these 2. You'll make Gigantic. You'll Gigantic effect, detach whichever one. I usually detach the blue. You'll summon Swap Frog. Swap Frog will send Ronin Totem. And this is where it gets cool. You bounce the Swap Frog to your hand with its effect, and then you pitch Enchantress to summon it again, and then you send your other Swap Frog, and then you can banish your Swap Frog to summon Ronin Totem. Then there you make Toad. And here you have an option. You can either keep the Gigantic and the red, or you can turn these into IP. So Sorry about that. But so that's like just 2 cards, and you'll get another Rite with the Enchantress Engrave, and you have your Ronin and your Toad, your Swap and your Ronin under here. So that's like a follow-up level 2. This can be follow-up if you keep this, if you don't tribute it. This can summon back this to get follow-up, or this, you can tribute this and then you summon it again. So like your hand can be that plus like 3 hand traps, which is like ideal. But it's really good. I think that's like a reason why it ups the consistency. A lot of people don't realize you can do that combo. And they think the right cards are like bricks. But I think they just like make the deck crazy. But anyways, that's the deck. I think the deck performed really well. Had a lot of fun. Saw some people I haven't seen in a while. But yeah, I'm a probably post more like TCG content in the near future. I don't know why my throat's doing that, but yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video, and have a good day.